Good afternoon, Your Honor. Daniel Magoo.
All right. Mr. Gu, you are representing yourself. I do have to apprise you that you are before the court on charge of resisting and obstructing a police officer. That is a high court misdemeanor, or what technically is known as a high court misdemeanor, and or felony punishable by up to 2 years, $2,000 fine plus court costs. There are great perils in representing yourself in this. You have to understand that I am going to treat you the same as though you know the laws and the rules of evidence. I will not treat you worse because you are not represented. I will not treat you better or grant any favors or try to clarify anything for you. If, for whatever reason, during any point in this proceeding, you wish to be represented by counsel and cannot afford to hire counsel, counsel will be appointed to represent you. As I have in the past hearings asked you to acknowledge what I've said, I'm going to only indicate that I believe that you understand English. You believe that the words that I have said to you are understood, so that we don't get into, you need to remove the gum from your mouth.
Mr. Mio is back and is about to learn the hard way why having legal representation is so important. If this is your first time on my channel, this video is actually part 2 of a series we started earlier. And let me just say, Daniel Mio is an absolute idiot. He flat out refuses to answer Judge Simpson's questions and carries himself like the ultimate smug, smart-mouthed know-it-all who thinks is above everyone else. As you can see, things get off to a pretty rough start for Mr. Mio here. Honestly, even saying his name feels weird because it's just weird. But weird name aside, it was a terrible start. He's literally chewing gum in a courtroom, and on top of that, he still hasn't bothered to get an attorney. Seriously, guys, get legal representation. Don't do what Mr. Mio is doing here. But enough of me talking, let's jump right in and see exactly what goes down between Mr. Mio and Judge Simpson today.
And
Thank you.
so I will not ask you to acknowledge. I will presume that you do indeed understand everything that I've said. Now, having said that, what are we doing with this case?
I'd like to move for evidentiary hearing or
You wish to have a preliminary examination?
preliminary examination. Yes, sir.
Would the people have their witnesses available the second?
We can try, Your Honor, but before moving toward that, would the court be willing to make its inquiries about discovery? I am aware of the defendant having filed a writ of mandamus with the Court of Appeals for the state of Michigan.
Yes.
That was subsequently dismissed without prejudice by the Court of Appeals.
Correct.
Contained within that, though, there are allegations that my office has violated its Brady obligations and has not provided sufficient discovery. So I'm not sure if we're ready to move forward to preliminary exam. The defendant is saying that he doesn't have all of the discovery. That is the concern of the court. The record I feel compelled to make at this time, though, is that the people have provided, I do believe, complete discovery to the defendant, and I believe that some of the representations that were made in this writ of mandamus that has been dismissed include, appear to allege that things that have already been denied by this court should be produced. Furthermore, the defendant filed a motion with no notice of hearing attached to it. So there's an outstanding motion in this case as well, no hearing date scheduled. So I'm hoping that we can sort of reconcile both of those things as whether or not discovery is something the defendant is prepared to move forward, and if he ever intends to file a notice of hearing to go along with the motion that I received in this case on 11/22.
Mr. Magoo, your response?
My response is that I thought this was the hearing that we were setting for the motion. So if I have to set a motion for a notice of hearing for that motion, I will do that today, Your Honor, promptly.
What about discovery?
I'm ready to move forward on my what I meant by my discovery comment was that there's still no exculpatory evidence as far as that I did anything wrong, as far as anything that they've submitted. So if it was improper for the wording, Your Honor, I apologize, but my ultimate goal is have the prosecution present their evidence against.
I'm going to indicate discovery is complete because I don't know what you're saying, because what you just said regarding discovery didn't make any sense. As it regards the motion, we will hear the motion or the motion will be heard on date of exam.
Thank you, Your
Deal
Honor.
with it at that point in time. So the people would have their witnesses available on the second.
We can try for the second, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person, January 2nd, 2025, 12.
Yeah.
12 noon, that is before me.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And continue.
This guy seriously needs legal representation, and not only that, but he's so smug he actually tries to outsmart the judge, which honestly makes zero sense to me. If anyone has a theory about why he's acting so crazy and irrational, drop it in the comments because I genuinely don't get it. To me, he kind of comes off like a sovereign citizen. I've covered a few of those on my channel, and they always have this same over-the-top arrogant attitude, acting like they're somehow above the court and better than everyone else, which is just insane. And get this dude is actually in court for assaulting a police officer, and on top of that, he lost custody of his kid because of it. You don't just randomly lose custody. That's a huge deal and shouldn't be taken lightly. But is out here treating it like it's nothing, like he's just strolling into court saying, "Oh, I didn't do it," with zero plan and no lawyer. Obviously, you need legal representation. This guy is making the judge absolutely hate his guts, and honestly, I think everyone watching probably hates him too. But it just goes to show how badly you need an attorney. You see this far too often. I don't know if it's just sovereign citizens who pull this nonsense and try to represent themselves, but I've never once seen it work out well. In the end, they just dig themselves into a deeper hole. And seriously, this guy lost his kid over this. It makes no sense. He seems completely mentally unstable or just totally nuts, and I can't even imagine how someone like this was taking care of a kid because he acts so immature. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for my take here. I'll be posting the other court hearing in January when it drops, and I think that one's going to be really entertaining, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, this was another clip of the Mio disaster. If you guys enjoyed, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care.